Hey, Zombie Grub, welcome back.
Hello?
You sound fantastic again. Great.
Okay.
For those who are unaware, by the way, we don't use Skype because Skype is like a good way to get DDoSed, so we just had to restart our program there real quick, but it's all good to go, so we shan't hesitate any longer. We're in game number 2 in this fresh best of 7. Well, I guess it's no longer fresh, but still a new best of 7 underway. $125 up for grabs, 100 to the loser, 100 to the winner. Wow. Be 100 to the loser, you throw that game in so quick. 100 to the winner, 25 to the loser. But we've also got a small bonus I didn't bring up during the first series of the day, where we're going to tack on $10 extra to each prize pool for whichever race does better today. So far, Terran is up in the lead, but if Solar ends up winning his match series, then whether Select or Golden wins will denote where those extra $30 goes. So it's not quite a huge addition, but it's extra money. It's just to make it a little more fun, so you can cheer for your race a little bit harder. And I totally forgot about that in the whole first series. Scumbag Riffian. But anyways, before the logos go away, guys, in the top left corner of the map, from Axiom Esports, it's going to be the blue Terran player, Hearts.
And in the upper right has the pink Zerg. It is Solar. And he is up 1-0 for, in my opinion, not a very good reason, but...
That was, like, I like the way he did that, though. Like, running past the bunker always is so much better than breaking them. That
was fine, but Hart saw that. Like, he was like, what did he think? Well, I guess he could have potentially thought he was trying to backstep them, but... I mean, like, go behind the bunker, but...
I think he was trying to just get that Marine in, and the timing was, like, the worst.
Right, that's what I think it is. It just, that's like, you know, you always, like, you actually probably think of it, you're like, well, what if it happens? And you're like, nah, that'd be way too coincidental, and then it happens.
Now, it's worth noting, guys, we have actually officially swapped to the Korean server, so game 1 wasn't BM or anything. We just totally forgot that these were both Korean players because we were all meeting up on the North American server, but we are on Korea, so neither of them should have any latency issues whatsoever. And, of course, Zombie Grub and I have good enough connections that we should not be affecting them in-game whatsoever.
Although Zoom did just yell at me. That's why I was like, hello? It was like, you can't recognize your mic. Yeah. It's like, are you sure?
You sound good still on my end, so I don't...
Right? I don't know. Zoom just you're being silly. You're drunk.
Just leave it be, yeah. Of course, guys, we kind of sped through the introduction because I was talking a little bit too long there at the start, but I do want to give a nod to explain again, the Money Peak series is a really interesting facet that's taken off a little bit bigger than I thought it would, where what we've been doing is collecting a combination of donations, putting our own money into it. Anyone who wants to sponsor events are more than welcome to sponsor events, and that's where we get these show matches from. This is, of course, the Money Peak series number 3. Nog being the actual sponsor of the event, combined with the fact that we put our sub money from Base Trade TV into this, so we're going to split the cost for the show matches today, but very glad to have them on board, as again, we've done show matches with them in the past. We didn't have the Money Peak series running at the time, but if you guys remember the TL show match, that was the first time they got involved with us. Then they sponsored Love Your Girlfriend and make themselves more well-known here in StarCraft 2, so... Well, we got some nice dancing going around. I do hope you guys can just appreciate the fact that they are new sponsors. They are not exactly the biggest, craziest, like, sponsors in the universe, but they want to get better known. They want to get some credibility within the community, and they're doing it little by little with show matches, team investments, what have you. So, shout out to them. And of course, their CEO will be on for some Q&A later on. But now we go back to the game and enough spiel about that.
So something interesting that happened while you were talking was that I don't think I've ever seen many other Terrans or any other Terrans do it, but he didn't get the second supply depot. He got it after Command Center.
I guess
something you used to do when you got Command Center 17, like no gas, but not with the Reaper expands. First time I've seen a Terran do it, and it worked out. He couldn't get into the Reaper. That's like, I guess, the trade-off. You can't get into the Reaper and you can't get more Marines either, but you get your Command Center that much quicker.
I suppose. I mean, a big problem is, of course, Hellions and Banshees, they eat up your supplies so quickly. As we see, Heart's already pretty much like supply blocked almost. So,
wow.
Getting the earlier supply depot maybe was like one of those. This sounds so silly to say, but like a future investment. I don't know. Maybe just save him some time. Maybe forget some micro. It could be a nuance of him and him alone. But either way, it's nothing too insane. Banshees can be in a moment.
Little thing, but interesting that Sola tried to move out with those slow lings. They just got barbecued to death. I wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do with those. Did he actually get... He didn't get speed? No, he did get speed. They must have finished like just as those things died, so poor lings. And it's gonna be Banshees, no cloak. Maybe only just getting one, actually. Banshee.
Man, I am pressing all the wrong buttons here on the keyboard, but There we go.
Oh.
Breaks into the natural. Drones are being pulled out of the
Oh.
Solar. Completely caught off guard. In the same way that Hart was caught off guard by that supply depot, Solar just got caught off guard by these Hellions. These drones are getting destroyed. Now, he hasn't completely eradicated them, but 16 workers just went down. For the cost of a couple Hellions? No
They just kept grouping up and they wouldn't stop.
So here's a tip to anyone who is in that sort of situation. There's two things you can do. You can either run for your lives like we saw Solar do. He kept about half of his drones alive, probably less than half, a little bit. But the other alternative is you spread, or the third alternative is you try and spread and then attack the Hellions. But that only works if they go into your mineral line. Really important and worth noting, Hart did not dive into that mineral line to get those kills, and that's why Solar struggled with that so hard.
Yeah, the way I think is most effective is if you can get an actual block with 4 drones while pulling the other one away. That's like the most boss way to do it. But
that is so hard to do,
really,
though. Like,
yeah, it's so hard to do. I mean, Hart did lose, I think. Did he only lose 1 Hellion? No, he lost 2 Hellions. So, you know, I guess future attacks aren't going to be that powerful. So, yeah, it was still a really good thing for Hart, not going to lie.
I like
his
the
third
Viking.
command center is, of course, delayed, though, because he did go for the Banshee, but only by a little bit.
Well, this isn't really a map you rush to your third to, because like for Hart, if he gets control of the map, then all of a sudden your third viably becomes the gold. Whereas if you're struggling and you lose your Hellions, you have to take the safer third.
Yeah.
But I like the Viking coming out of this. This isn't something we got to see.
Yeah.
Whoa, get to the middle lines again with some Hellions. He's gonna be driven back. He's not gonna get quite the free kills he wanted to, but that was looking really scary for a moment. 3 drone kills for nothing though. But the Viking is something we didn't really get to see about Daishi at all. He never really made that Pult-esque Viking. We kind of nicknamed it the Pult Viking God knows how long ago, because he was the only one who did this for the longest time. But this will roam around the map, and it'll get you some vision, whatever. It usually picks off about 3 Overlords too, so it pays for itself in that regard.
Yeah. And, you know, even if it doesn't kill any Overlords, it does bring the Overlords back, which is honestly what you really want from it.
Yeah,
you know, getting Overlord kills is actually better than you could expect.
Solar's vision is surprisingly restricted actually right now. Just creep spread mainly, and there's 1 Overlord.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, usually that's why Vikings get the kills, right? It's because the Overlords are out there, but there weren't any Overlords.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a trade-off. The drops are going to go unscouted though, so I'm not sure if it's the best trade-off in the world. You know, probably wanted to lose that Overlord to potentially see a medevac rather than have this happen.
No vision at the top left corner of his base too. This is gonna hurt Solar just a little bit. This is funny too, because what was it, just not too long ago we watched Solar make mincemeat out of innovation, right? But like,
oh god, yeah.
Now he's making like the oddest mistakes versus Hart. Like this isn't like Solar's playing a noob or anything, but they're little mistakes that are really compiling fast. Link's running through a terrible choke.
Oh my god.
Like, this is terrible. Good game. Rightfully so. Hart.
I don't know what to do.
They even up, you know, 1-to-1. There you go. That's the first game was weird. The second game was weird.
Blizzard just told me about extension mods. What the? What's wrong with you, Blizzard? So the only thing I can think of right now is that it is 8 a.m. and I think Solar's more of the type of Korean to stay up till 4 a.m. than get up at 8 a.m.
Actually, that is not an excuse, but a legitimate point, because Solar's often streaming into the long hours of the night.
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of the things that they, like all the cups he participates in, go into the late night. So it's not even like him being lazy, it's him being kind of smart, actually. He changed the schedule like that, so that could legitimately be it. I don't know.